Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is August the 4th of 2022. Sounds like we have some thunderstorms going on outside to the south of us. I checked the radar. It looks like they're developing. It's not like they're coming in from anywhere. They're forming right over top of us. We're supposed to get rain for like 5 days, so something's going on out there. Yeah, it's coming. I may lose power. I may have to re-record this later. I don't know. Anyways, today I wanted to read Isaiah 26. I don't really have much else to talk about. I had a good bit of meditation this morning, good bit of time to quiet myself and get myself prepared for the day. So you need to do that. You need to quiet everything around you. Just get all the thoughts out of your head. Everything that's going on, everything that's happening. Just kind of push it out and then move forward. Because whatever it is that you're thinking about, you can come back to it later, but you have to be able to wake up and focus. I'm not saying that you can't wake up and focus on God and, ask Him to help you through it. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying as a practice, what I do, usually after I pray, usually after, we stop, we have a good prayer, is I will stop and meditate and just let my worries go away from me. Maybe read a couple passages in the Bible. Just let it sink in for a little bit. And then push forward. It's a mental practice. Just trying to get yourself prepared. It's like I said, just get rid of all of the garbage of the world, of this world, of the lies and the deceits and everything. And just focus on moving forward. So enough about that. I didn't want to spend too much time today. I don't have much to say. I really don't. I am pretty clear right now. If I start focusing on things of the world, I will probably lose that clarity. So let's just jump right into this. And let's let God's word talk to us and tell us what we need to hear today. Isaiah 26. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation, which keepeth the truth, may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever. For in the Lord YHWH is everlasting strength. Now there's a break there. But there is also a colon there, which means that it is the end of a thought, but it is still the same thought. Sometimes that happens. I still call them paragraph breaks. That's what they call them. They call them paragraph breaks. But it's enough that we can stop and go back and read this. So in that day, which is the whenever everything is kind of wiped out and everything is destroyed, and his people have come back to him, to the place where to the city where they need to come back to. In that day, after everything has been taken away, shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. So we have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation, which is his people, which keepeth the truth, he is the truth, may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength. Amen on that one. Verse 5, for he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city, he layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou, most upright, dost weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. For some reason, when I read it the first time, it didn't register. Now it does. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see, and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. All right. There's a lot going on in the back end of that. Let's go back to where it started, though. Verse 5. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city, he layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. The high cities. It always talks about the high cities, the cities that are made up on the mountains, possibly so that they can get to their groves that they made in the mountains easier. The high cities that they put up on top of the mountains so that people can see them from everywhere, so that you will know, look, this is a great place. Let's go up there to the high cities, the lofty cities. Possibly also it's part of that Tower of Babylon thing, is the closer you can get to God, the closer that they think that they can install themselves into God's place. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. Now this is after he layeth it low, even to the ground, he bringeth it even to dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou, most upright, dost weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. It's what you should always be desiring, is God's name, God's will, God's perfection. Some days I feel like I have fallen short of that, and I have to come back to him as humble as possible and ask him to fill me back up with that love, with that word, with that comfort. Because again, these days are very trying times. And this world does anything and everything it can to pull you off the path, pull you out of your walk through perfection, your walk off the narrow path. It says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. It's the narrow path we should be following, and this world does its absolute damnedest to push you off that path. And sometimes it feels like you get pushed so far off that path that you can't get back. And you have to humble yourself as much as possible and come back to God and say, God, I am falling away. Bring me back. Pull me back. Lift me back up. Because I have let this world pull me down again. We're all just human. We're not perfect in this. We're all falling short. We have to let God's word lift us up. We have to lift each other up, help each other. I'm sitting there watching. Did that pick up on the microphone? Did you hear the thunder out there? I was just sitting there watching the line for the levels for the microphone, and it looked like it picked up the thunder. That's crazy. But we all need to have that desire. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. We all need to try to have that. We all need to try to find each other and lift each other up and help each other as much as we can. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Let favor be shown to the wicked. Okay, no, this one's crazy. This one's a little different. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. This is the love your enemies kind of thing. Pray for your enemies. Pray that they will learn the lies that they have been fed and they will come out of it. So okay, let me put it another way. I think it is possible for anyone that has turned away from God, has followed evil spirits, has followed wickedness, I always think it's possible for them to be able to turn back. They may still face judgment, but I always think it is possible that they can be turned back. I think that's part of the whole thing about praying for your enemies. That you can always come out of the lie. You're still going to face the judgment for the things that you did, but you can always come out of that lie. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But when it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, it just sounds a little strange, doesn't it? What is that? Verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked to be gracious. Be gracious. Oh, wait, there's more in here. Hold on a second. So to be gracious, show favor, pity the wicked, to be pitied. To direct favor to have mercy on the wicked. But at the very bottom, to seek favor, implore favor. The very, very bottom, to be loathsome. Let's see what the actual, to bend or stoop in kindness, to an inferior, to favor, bestow, causality, to implore, to be merciful on, to make supplication on. But at the very, very bottom, to be loathsome. Let favor be showed to the wicked. Let mercy be showed to the wicked. Let favor be loathsome to the wicked. Interesting. I'm not saying that's what it is. But every now and then, you get that. You get that in these definitions. It's on the very, very bottom. It's that just one little definition just changes everything. But I will say it is more about mercy than it is anything else. Let mercy be shown to the wicked. Yet he will not learn righteousness. Let them live their lives, but they will not learn righteousness. They will not come to the truth. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. This is the wicked. In the land of the uprightness, the wicked will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord, which is exactly what's going on nowadays. You have people that just want to live their lives in peace, but you have this certain group of people that just want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's just pushing evil. That's all it is. I saw something. It was a news article. The article was something like the UN is combating disinformation, saying something about they are fighting the notion that the world is run by some secret cabal of evil men or something like that. And it was from one of those freedom news websites. I don't remember what the name of it was. And I can't post anything from those. I know they give good information. I know they give good news articles, and most of the things on there, you can go to the websites that they the links that they show you, and you can show it and you can prove it, but you can't use that with the normies. The normies will see that and say, well, this isn't CNN or ABC or NBC or Fox. They'll look at that and they'll say, oh, well, you're just a patriot. I can't listen to patriots. Real patriots, not AOC patriots. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the AOC patriots. But I can't use that, so I had to dismiss it, right off the bat. But the headline itself was, I don't know, I keep hearing my breath popping on the microphone. and it's as far away as it usually is. So I don't know what's going on, but it was everything that I have joked about before. Is, you know, evil evil secret cabal says that they're not an evil secret cabal. One of those types of things. So it's that kind of logic. Is that in the land of uprightness, in the land of the people that just want to live their lives, just want to be in peace, the people that just want to worship God and do their own thing. The wicked will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. They will not follow through. Be merciful on them, because I still think that they can be turned back. They're still going to face their judgments, but they can be turned back. But they're just not going to do it. And they're going to lay their snares, lay the traps, lay all the stuff. We've talked about it a million times. That's like half of the Psalms that we read said exactly that. They lay the traps, they lay the snares for the righteous. They deal deceitfully, they deal wickedly, constantly, over and over again. And I took that and I tried to say so many times, you cannot trust men in this world. You have to trust God and find out for yourself what's going on. There is no man in this world that's going to come and save you. I hear it all the time, though. It seems like all the truthers are still behind certain people, that we can vote this all away. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it, and you're never going to get it if you're thinking like that. It's going to come and it's going to steamroll you, and then you're going to think, well, where was my Savior's at? It's going to be like, you put your trust in a man. There is no man you can trust. There is no man in this world right now that you can trust with that. You have to trust the Father. You have to trust God. Will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord? Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see, and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. So let me see. Ashamed for the envy of thy people. I just wanted to look that up. There will be, Revelation says there will be a weeping and gnashing of teeth, because not everybody is going to get to come along. There will be, I still go by, somebody said it before, when you die, and if you make it into heaven, there will be two things that will happen. The first is there will be a lot of people there. Or no, there will be a lot of people that you think should be there and won't be there. Is that there will be so many people that you thought were good, upright, perfect Christians that said the things, did the things, that just won't be there. And there will be those that you never thought in a million years would be there, but they're going to show up. And it is that envy of the wicked people, the envy of all people, really, the weeping and gnashing of teeth, is you're going to get to that point, you're going to get judged, and you're either going to think, well, didn't I prove it to you? Look at all these works I did for you. Look at all these things I did for you. Was it not enough? And it won't be. You will still be judged. Now, I've already said, I may or may not be judged worthy. I have done my best. But when it comes to that time, I'm only going to answer the one question is did I help save one? That's all I'm going to need to worry about. I have done so much in my life. I've done so much in my life that I am not proud of at all. And all I can ever do is ask forgiveness. And if he forgives me, I will dance and sing his praises for the rest of my life. And I have faith that I will be. I have faith in him, in Christ YHWH, that he will wash me clean when that day comes, and that I will be able to stand before him and say, I was not perfect. I did terrible things, horrible things. But you chose me. You pulled me out of the darkness and set me on a path. And Father, I did everything I could. And now I am as perfect as I can be in order to be able to live with you through all eternity. I have faith that I still have that walk left to go. I don't know how much of that walk I have to go. Everything's on his time. But I have faith that he will show me more and wonderful things that I have yet to see. I have yet to see. So until that time comes, all I can do is do what I'm doing. You know, when the conviction comes to do something higher, then I'll have to go see where I go from there. I don't know. Verse 12. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord our God, other lords beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. They are dead, they shall not live, they are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish. Thou hast increased the nation, O Lord. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening. It's split, so it's hard to see. Let's try that one again. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery, is in pain, and cried out in her pangs. So have we been in thy sight, O Lord. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. All right, there's a break there right before verse 20. So let's go back. It's kind of a big one. Let's go back to verse 12. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. Has wrought all our works in us. You have brought forth good works. You have brought forth good fruit. You have brought forth all of the good things within us. O Lord our God, other lords beside thee have had dominion over us. Other little g gods, other lords too. This could very well be, let me see, masters, lords of the earth. Then there's governors and kings. So you never know. O Lord our God, other lords, could be masters, kings, could be sovereign, could be in reference to other gods. Prophets, governors. But anyways, there are other people that have had dominion over us. But by thee only will we make mention of thy name. They are dead. All those other little g gods, all those other masters, all those other rulers, those kings, they are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish. They are nothing. They are dead trees. I like to say that now. Who was it? It wasn't Abraham, was it? Who was it? It was in the very beginning of the book where, or was it even in this book, or was it in Jasher? It might have been in Jasher. Hell, man, I don't know. I think it was in Jasher. I think I'm mixing them up. Where, yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure it was in Jasher. But it was somebody's son came in and saw that his father had this room full of all of these wooden idols. You know, all these different gods. So he took an axe and he chopped up all these idols, except for one. And then he put the axe in the hand of that one. And, you know, he told his father to come in, and his father came in and said, "What happened here? What is this?" And the son was like, "Oh, your one God came in and he destroyed all the others." And he was like, "He can't come to life. He's just wood." And it was one of those aha kind of moments, you know, where it was, you know, they're just dead trees. There's nothing to it. So my thing is in Jeremiah where it says, you know, don't do like the heathens do, where they chop down a tree and bring it into the house and nail it to a thing. People say that means chopping down a tree, carving it into an idol, and then, you know, bringing it into your house and, you know, worshiping it. Okay. But when you cut down a Christmas tree, It's the same thing. I don't care if it's plastic or not. Don't even get into that argument. It's the same thing. You're bringing in a tree. I don't care if you're carving it or not. It is still a tree. It's a dead tree. You're just worshiping a dead tree. You fasten it to the floor so that it should not be moved. Isn't that amazing? You decorate it with silver and gold, and then you get on your knees before it for one day of the year. You get on your knees, whether you want to admit it or not. You're getting on your knees in front of that tree. You're singing songs to the tree. You light it up at night so that everybody can see it. You put it in front of your house so that you can vainly show your friends and your family how beautiful your tree master is. It's just a dead tree. It's just a dead tree. Why do we have to kill a thing in order to celebrate a holiday? It's just dead trees. That's all it is. That's that. They are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made their memory to perish. You're nothing. They are nothing. You're just dead trees. That's all they are. Just dead trees. That's you can take that and put it along with humans, I guess, if you want to. They're just dead trees. There's nothing to them, you know. They're killing their own lives by setting themselves up vainly in front of all the people and decking themselves in silver and gold and telling you that you need to store up silver and gold. I have my own thoughts on that. I really have my own thoughts on that. The guys that they get on there and they want to talk about storing up metals. Store up your precious metals because that's the only thing you're going to be able to have that's worth any value at the end of it. No, it's not. No, it's not. Food is going to be the only thing that you're going to be able to barter with. Not silver and gold. People aren't going to give two shits about your gold whenever there ain't no food. You get over the gold and silver, man. That's just I have my own opinions on it. I know people don't. People think that it has value to them. Hey, that's great. It has value to you. That's wonderful. But the price on gold is only what people think that it is. It's only what they think it's worth. You remember, the Bible says that one piece of bread will cost as much as a whole bag of gold or something like that, something similar to that. Just because you have gold doesn't mean that you're going to be able to buy anything with it. It's going to be worthless just like everything else. They spent 10, 20 years buying up every single last piece of gold that you have. You saw the commercials over and over and over. It was in the newspapers. It was on the billboards. Everywhere. We buy gold. We buy gold. They took all that gold. They shipped it off to a place that processes gold. And then they sold that gold to the government, who in turn gave it to somebody else. I don't know who they gave it to. They either gave it to Britain or they gave it to China. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter. They're storing it up. That's their treasure. But they spent all those years taking your gold away from you, and then they turn around and they tell their disinformation experts, their controlled opposition, they tell everybody to buy gold. You sold it for X amount. They're selling it back to you for double X amount. You got tricked. You got fooled. It's a scam. Gold will not save you. I'm sorry. Silver and gold will not save you. I just the things you hear. Just the things you hear in the That's my opinion. It's probably not the best opinion, and I'm sure that there are so many people out there that can come up to me and they can say, well, you're wrong because, this is it's a worth that's going to be there forever and yada, yada, yada. And no, it's, in my opinion, that hunk of gold that you're holding on to, that precious metal that you're holding on to that right now you think is worth 200 something whatever dollars per, whatever. When it comes time, it's only going to be worth what the person you're trying to give it to thinks it's going to be worth. And if they think that it's worth way, way less than you think it is, you got scammed. I'm sorry. We'll get. I don't even know how I got on that anyways. Thou hast increased the nation, O Lord. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. I know why. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now we're probably a little more muffled than usual. I found out why it was popping so much. Is because the little foam, what do you call that? It's got a name. I know it's got a name. The muffler, the little foam muffler on the end of the microphone on my headset had started moving out. That's why I kept hearing the wind. I'm like, where's the wind coming from? I shouldn't, well, see, I have to blow on it now, but there we go. Now we're not getting the pops so much anymore. Now we're not getting the wind so much anymore. Unreal. It's been doing that. It's an old pair of headset. Now these headsets, it's got to be 7 years old, 6-7 years old. Hey, I'll use them until they break. So it is what it is. Where are we? Lord, in trouble, verse 16. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and crieth out in her pangs. So have we seen in thy sight, O Lord. The time of tribulation will come as a woman who is in labor. We've seen that one over and over again. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. I gotta know. Brought forth wind, breath, spirit, air, gas. I had to chuckle just a little bit when I saw it before. We have been in pain. We have been, as it were, when we brought forth wind. All right. Fart jokes. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Now, some people say, when you die, you are immediately judged and sent to heaven and hell. There is nothing in the Bible that says that. Nothing that says that when you die, you immediately go to heaven. It says that there were some people that were taken while they were alive, and Moses somehow is in heaven. I don't know how. It doesn't really say. But there is nothing to prove that as soon as you die, you immediately go to heaven, or that you are judged, you immediately go to heaven or hell. At best, you go to sleep. Some of them call it the big sleep. That you simply sleep in the dust, and before the tribulation, everyone is waking up. Or not before the tribulation, before the judgment. Sorry. Before the judgment, everyone is waking up. That everyone shall come back alive, and then they are judged. And then from there, you're either thrown in the pit, or you get to go to the New Jerusalem, or you spend 1,000 years, or is that after the 1,000 years? I don't know. It's in there somewhere. Read your Bible. But this is just another one of those examples. The earth shall cast out the dead. The dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. When I die, and all the rest of them are dead, we shall all raise up out of the dust. Then we shall be judged. Then shall we be judged. There's nobody in heaven looking over you. I'm sorry to say that. It makes you feel good. But there's nothing in the Bible that says that. I absolutely agree that there are angels that look out for us. Many times where I have almost really hurt myself, or almost got killed, I have said, well, that's such and such looking out for me. But I can't believe that anymore, because they're just sleeping. They're sleeping. They're waiting to be risen, lifted back up, so that we will see everybody in the end. Everybody will be seen in the end. You will get to see them. I don't know if you'll be rejoicing. I don't know if you'll be, able to say anything. The Bible says that everybody will be risen up in the end. And that from there you will be judged. And I think I was talking about this with somebody, that I think that might be a point where you might hear the gospel of Christ. Those people that have never heard it before might be able to hear it. I don't know, because everybody's got to be able to hear it. And everybody's got to be able to hear it at least once before they die, and be able to make the choice. That doesn't mean they'll be saved. It just means that, they have to hear it. Every man will hear it, even the dead. What was the book? Was it the book of Nicodemus? The one that I don't... Oh, do I own it? I think I own it. I don't have it up here, but I think I own it. I don't think I ever read it, though. I think it was one of those that I just never got around to it because I did. I bought it, and then I was going to read it, but then we had the flooding in the basement. So I never got a chance. I was too busy worried about getting all the stuff out of the basement. I got to find that. It's around here somewhere. But it was part of that book was it was talking about Christ going down to hell, going down to all the souls that had died. And it's not hell, it's Sheol, which is another thing that some of the other books and even the Bible kind of hints at it, that's where the souls are being stored. You know, it's not like it's a terrible place. It's just a place where they're all going to. Then again, some of them refer to the concept that, you know, some of those that deserve to be in Sheol, to be in hell, this very empty, hollow place, they go there. And everybody else just sleeps until the time. I don't know. You know, it's a lot more to look into. It's definitely something that you should definitely look into more than I can describe to it. I'm just telling you what I've heard here, and I've heard there, trying to put it all together. You know, it's kind of a puzzle piece. It makes sense in the end, but right now I'm not, you know, I don't have that information. But part of that was Christ going down with all of these people that have died before, and he was preaching the gospel. I think there's another one that kind of says it too, but you know, they're apocrypha. I don't know exactly how well they go. I don't know. There's a lot of debate on that. It's a lot of debate about Enoch, so you have to take it as it is. If it matches, it matches. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it talked about him going down, and he spent those 3 days trying to convert whoever wanted it, you know, giving them the gospel, those that had never heard it before, because you know, a lot of atheists, they like to pull that one out on you. What about all those people that have, you know, you say that Jesus Christ is the only way to God. What about all those people that never knew Christ? What about everybody that was born before, or died before he was born? Well, they're going to get it somehow. Every man will know. Every person will know. So they got to know somehow. Whether that's that or whether that's when they are, you know, pulled out of the dust, when the earth casts out the dead, and everybody is risen before the judgment, and they are given that final choice. Maybe I think that's it. Personally, I do. It seems the most logical way. I don't know. There's probably more books somewhere that I haven't read. I haven't read every apocryphal book yet. I mean, heck, I haven't even gotten through like I said, that book of Nicodemus. I need to go find it. I'll go read it if I can go find it. It got packed up because I emptied that basement so quick. We had a 1/4 inch of water in the basement, so I had to get stuff out fast. And it's all in boxes, and I don't know what half of what's in any box down there anymore. That's the worst packed job I've ever done in my life. So everything is so mixed up, and nothing is labeled. So it's just, you know, just one of those things. And no, we have not fixed the basement yet. We're going on 2.5 months now, where my basement is sat completely empty and dead. Nice and dry, because we haven't gotten a decent rain in forever. We get little thunderstorms here and there, but we are so dry right now that any rain we get just gets soaked right up and it's gone. But last year and the beginning of this year, we had so much rain that it just, the water couldn't go anywhere. So we had water in the front yard and we had water in the basement for like 6 months. And now suddenly it's dry as a bone. Let's continue this. Let's keep going here. Verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. I have heard people use this verse 1,000,000 times. Well, not 1,000,000 times, maybe 1,000 times. 2 years ago. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and For the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. I have heard so many people excuse the lockdowns, promote the lockdowns, promote the loss of freedom with that one verse. Well, look, the Bible says it right here. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. Okay. That has absolutely nothing to do with a virus at all. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, which is your house, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, withdraw, remain hidden. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, for a small moment of time, until the indignation, until the anger of the Lord is past, has passed by, has passed away. In context, this is talking about the anger and judgment the Lord will give at the end of days. We are still talking about this at the end of days. He will wipe everything out. He will send an Assyrian through the land to wipe everybody out, and then there will be violent earthquakes and destruction and all this stuff, and then his people will come back to the land, and then everybody will be rejoicing and happy, and then everything else. But in context, this is, come, my people, go into your houses, hide yourselves away until the anger of the Lord is past. This has nothing to do with hiding yourself in your house because some crazy virus. Unreal. I heard this used so many times from different people that have said, look, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible that we should hide ourselves away in our house. Give me a break. Give me a break. If you want to hide in your house and be scared of something that doesn't even kill as much as the yearly flu, you go right ahead and you do that. Don't tell me what to do, and don't use this book in order to con me into falling for your delusions. That's insane. Give me a break. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. So, there were other people that were talking about, oh, this is the rapture. People are dying of the cove because of this is the rapture. They're dying because these are good people that are dying. Hide in your house because the Lord is coming out of his place. He's over it. He's done. He's going to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, for their sin, for their unrighteousness. The earth also shall disclose her blood, the juice of the grape, disclose her blood. Uncover, reveal her blood. Interesting. And shall no more cover her slain, the people that have been killed. The Lord shall wipe it all away, and then the earth will, what did the one say? And the earth shall cast out the dead, shall disclose her blood, shall cast out the dead. For that final judgment. Hide yourselves away from the anger of the Lord. Put the blood on the doorstop if you need to. 2 dollops on either side of the doorstop and put one in the middle. If you do it at arm's length, it's a cross. It's the cross. It's the lamb's blood of the cross on your door to keep evil away. It is the same as right before the Exodus, right before whenever Moses took his people out of Egypt. It was that Passover. That Passover that God told you to celebrate. But people don't like to celebrate Passover because they think that the Passover is a Jewish tradition. It's not a Jewish tradition. It is a tradition of God. It is a feast of God. It has nothing to do with following the traditions of the Jews. It has to do with following the commandments of God. It's what he wants you to do. It's a beautiful thing too. Since we've been celebrating it, it's amazing. I learn a little bit more every year. Just a little bit more every year. We try to practice as best we can. This year we had way too bitter herbs. we had lamb. We had lamb last year too. It was really good last year. This year she tried something different. It wasn't as good, and I said, "Whatever you did last year, do that again." It was really good. I'm finding out that lamb is it's good. I like it. When it's cooked right. This one came out really rubbery. But we had lamb and we had salads. And we took the bitter herbs thing a little bit too far. And I said, yeah, maybe we should not do that. But it's, the Feast of Unleavened Bread after it. It's a cleansing process to get you, going in the beginning of the year. And it's usually, man, I think I probably lose 10 to 15 pounds every Passover or every Feast of Unleavened Bread because I'm just not eating all the junk. It's just it's like a whole week of fruit. It's a whole week of fruit and vegetables is all it is. We have tacos. This is amazing. That's the best part about it. I keep saying the best part about it is it's like Fruity Pebbles and tacos, Mexican food. Yeah, like the whole week. That's good stuff, Well, we try other stuff too. We try she does like a different kind of chicken. And then she'll do we had the lamb, of course, but then usually some kind of a steak and potatoes. Steak, potatoes, and corn. It's not I had a family member tell me it was kind of like a punishment. It sounds like a punishment. Why would you want to force yourself not to eat, certain kinds of food? Sounds like you're being punished by God. I said, this is a punishment? Losing 12, 10, 12 pounds, 15 pounds on the end of this? It's like spring cleaning. It's what you do. You get yourself healthy in order to enter the new year. Your new year starts in April. There are a lot of people that say that the new year starts right on April 1st. That's why they call it April Fool's Day. There's a more of a process to it. It's the first new moon, yada yada yada, and then it's however many days after that. Our calendars are off because, again, I think the sun has been moved a day and a quarter off of its course, and there are 2 times in your Bible where the sun itself is stopped for a day and possibly a day and a quarter. That's where that day and a quarter comes from. I think. I don't know. I can't prove it, but there used to be a 364-day calendar. 13 months, 28 days. Makes sense. I don't know. I can't prove any of it. It's just what I think. It's just speculation. I don't know. Of course, then again, I think Christ himself said that we only have, what did it say, 12 hours in a day? Something like that? 6 hours in a day? I can't remember what he said. I don't know if that's talking about the amount of daylight you have in a day, or if that's talking about the actual number of hours in a day. I know that the calendar that we've been given, which is absolutely set up to confuse. You're going to have like a month that has 31 days, and you're going to have another month that has 30 days. You can't come up with something any better than that. You have 2 months back to back that have 31 days, and then you have 1 month just for shits and giggles. You have 1 month that has 28 days that gets a 29th day every 4th year. What kind of calendar is this? And you didn't even bother to try to hide the fact that you've moved the calendar. September, October, November, December. 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on, man. What are you doing? And who in the world makes a calendar refresh to a new year in the middle of the dead of winter? What kind of crack are you smoking? A year refreshes at the beginning of spring, when things are starting to come alive. That's the beginning. That's the refresh. And then we could talk about the days. You could talk about seconds. You have 60 seconds in a minute. You have 60 minutes in an hour. You have 24 hours in a day. 666. Wake up. Wake up. People say, well, it works that way. It works perfectly that way. Yeah, it works perfectly other ways too. It doesn't have to be 60 seconds to a minute or 60 minutes to an hour. It can absolutely be any conversion of time that fits into the amount of time between, the sun going down one day and the sun going down the next day. It doesn't have to be that. But that's what we've decided on because it works for man. It's man's clock. It's man's calendar. It's not God's calendar. It's not God's clock. Of course, then again, they think your clock works because that's some, spinning ball going around some sun in the middle of the universe. They think that's how the clock works. It's not. Your clock works because you have a light in the sky that circles around you during the day, and you have a light in the sky that circles around you at night. One of them tracks the hours of the day, one of them tracks the hours of the month. And that moon, which according to the Bible has never stopped, still tracks 28 days at a time. 28 days goes into 365 13 times. 13 months of 28 days with a day and a quarter, which is what they say that we have. It's a day and a quarter that aren't accounted for. 365 and 1/4 days that we have to have a leap year. We have to have an extra day added in every 4th year in order to be able to make the calendar work. In the Bible, it says that the sun was held up for a day so that such and such could be able to have a war, could be able to fight his enemies. Then there was another time, I cannot remember who it was, where somebody that asked that the sun be pulled backwards 10 degrees in order to be able to do something. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's a day and a quarter. Now, I don't know what else to say other than that. I mean, you know, and every other ancient, I don't want to say every other ancient civilization, ancient culture had that 13-month calendar, but a lot of them did. A lot of them had 13-month calendars. And a lot of them knew a lot more than we did. So something was going on there. Something's going on there, and we really don't know what it is. But the Bible also says that there will be, that man will come in and he will change times and he will change the, I'm going to look that one up because I got to know. Change times. Daniel 7. Daniel 7. Well, let's look at Daniel 7. I was just in Daniel just like 5 seconds ago. I was looking something up. Where is it? Until the Ancient of Days came. This is Daniel 7:21. We're going to go back. I beheld with the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. Judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces, which is probably Rome. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Of course, that's 3.5 years. There is more. There's another one. I thought for sure there was. All I keep seeing is Daniel. I thought there was one in Revelation that's talking about, he was talking about changing times. Then again, maybe not. Maybe it was just in Daniel. That's why it's good to be able to look this stuff up. See if I can find anything else. Changing time, Daniel 7:25. It's the same one. Anyways, they have changed your calendar at least 3 times. You've got the Gregorian calendar, you've got the Julian calendar, you've got the, what was the other one? There's at least 2 others. I can't remember what it was. But they will change times, they will change laws, they will think to change all of these things, and we have. It's part of the deception. It's part of the beast. It's part of the beast system. This is the same beast. This is the same monster that, came out and is changing everything and starting the lie, starting the deception. This deception is way older than you could ever think it possibly is. But changed everything, hid 1,000 years from us. Called it the Dark Ages. Maybe even added 1,000 years, called it the Dark Ages, and made us think that, don't worry, there's nothing to it. We don't know for sure. People say that there's history there, but the history there just seems made up. They call it the Dark Ages, where everything fell apart. Apparently everybody just decided, you know what, we're going to stay horse and buggy for 2,000 years. We're not going to do anything whatsoever. There's going to be no innovation, nothing. It's just going to be constant warring and battles over and over and over and over and over. And it's interesting that the constant warring and battles are just going to stay isolated in certain places. And they're just going to war. They're going to have a 100-year war. They're going to have a 1,000-year war. They're going to have all these wars. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, you got people that are building pyramids. Building pyramids and supposedly killing themselves off. It doesn't track. Nothing tracks anymore. Nothing makes sense anymore. When you look at this stuff with new eyes, nothing makes sense anymore. I'm an hour and 15 minutes in. Everybody out in the house is moving around, and I'm like, well, maybe I should start moving too. Yeah, your calendars are off. All of this is man-made, and it fits. They made it to where it'll fit. All in order to trick you. You have 2 12-hour cycles in one day. 2 + 1 is 33. That's a 33. You have 12 segments to an hour divided up into 3 quarters, or 4 quarters, 3 hours each. 15 minutes each. It's a 6. 6, 6, 6, 6. Ain't nothing good about any of it. And it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to count that. You don't have to count that way. You can count hours and seconds any other way possible. But that's how they want you to do it. People don't want to believe that because people have been so ingrained into thinking, well, this works. It works for us. Hell, man, it works great for us. Take your clock away for a day. Don't look at your clock. Don't think about your clock. Don't study your clock. Just live your life for a day. Wake up when you think it's okay. Go do whatever you want to do whenever you think it's okay. Eat when you get hungry. And then go to bed and see how much better your life is. Your clock rules you. Your clock tells you when to get up to go to work. Your clock tells you when to go to work, so you have to eat. Your clock tells you that you have to eat at lunch because they told you have to eat at lunch. So that's 2 meals in a day that you may or may not need. Your clock tells you to get off, go home and, eat again. Because you have to eat before you go to bed, because you have to go to bed at a specific time. So you go to bed at your very specific time so that you can wake up the next morning. So that's 3 square meals a day that you don't even know if you need to eat. Because you're not eating when you're hungry. You're eating when the clock tells you to. You're going to work when the clock tells you to. You're taking your bathroom breaks when the clock tells you to. Take a day. Take a weekend. Just live your life. Don't ever look at a clock. and see what happens. Man made a clock in order to deceive you, to ruin your life. And he uses his numbering system. He uses his calendar system. He uses his ways in order to mess you up. That's all I got to say. That's really all I got to say. Somebody asked, I said, I posted it somewhere that there's got to be a better system. There's got to be a better way of tracking the hours and the minutes and the seconds and the days, because again, adding a day in every 4 years just sounds ridiculous. It just sounds stupid. But of course, everybody's like, well, if you got a better system, come up with a better system. It's like, I don't have a better system. I'm sure that we could live without the system we have. You know, I'm absolutely certain we could live with a better system that we have. But we don't. We live with the system that we have, and the system that we have is made in order to hurt us and destroy us. It absolutely destroys us. Your entire life is dependent upon that clock. My entire life right now is dependent upon this clock. It is 7:19. I have to go to work in 40 minutes. That means in 10 minutes, I have to go downstairs and make sure I get some food in my belly so that I could start. Because if I don't, because I'm so indoctrinated into having to eat before I go to work now, that by 8:30, I will be hungry, starving, dying. I will be falling asleep. One thing that the people in the Bible never had to worry about is their blood sugar level going too low. My blood sugar level will be going so low that I will be falling asleep, probably with a headache, by 8:30. Because my whole system has been ingrained into thinking that I have to live that way. It's because of a clock. That's not to say we don't need to count days and times and hours and whatever. They counted them back then. I get that. But we have been forced into that way of living. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. I can only pray that I do well and make it to that eternal rest in heaven so that I don't have to live by a clock. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. God bless every one of you. Take care of yourselves. How do I even get on these things? I'm just trying to think of how I got, I don't even know. All right. I shall talk to y'all later. Another process of living by a clock is unfortunately waking up 30 minutes before your alarm goes off. And then you're tired all day. Like I am right now. So, and if some people think, well, if I live without a clock, then I wouldn't go to bed on time. I'd be tired. Well, the Bible also says don't stay up late to do something. I can't remember exactly what it said. And don't wake up too early either. Your Bible actually tells you to not stay up late and to not get up too early. I can't remember exactly what context it was in. It's in there, though. It's in there. Look it up. It's in there. Because it was one of those, I think it was one of those things about vanity. I think it's what it was. One of those lines that just sticks out and you're just like, did my Bible just tell me that I need to quit staying up late and playing video games? Is that what it just said? Oh, man. All right, you guys take care of yourselves.